there you go. I mean, we finally got a date.
So
Holiday 2020.
I guess it's nothing too surprising. We knew it was coming out in Holiday. It's just actual confirmation.
Confirmation of it.
Oh yeah, it is real.
It's exciting.
It's called PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
So it is exciting because it's like, that's the start of it's kind of like the start or the build up to next gen now. We'll start seeing, hopefully in the next few months, games
get little tidbits released as well.
Yeah,
getting information fed to us like this is that. Did you see IGN's side-by-side comparison? It says like, which will you be buying, PS5 or Xbox Scarlet? They're virtually the same things.
Yeah.
They're virtually the same things.
I think there was one or two slight differences.
Yeah, slight differences.
I'm not a tech expert, so I don't know exactly.
One was like 8K, capabilities. Like, great, I'm never going to play 8K anytime soon. You need the TV for that.
I mean, they said,
good luck with your tens of thousands of pounds.
Yeah, exactly.
I think there was some rumours that pretty much, this is the generation where the gap's going to be the slimmest it's ever been between consoles. They're pretty much identical, so it's going to be based off software basically, and services. Software and services. That's going to be the two big things that entice people either way.
And we spoke about this slightly last week, didn't we? With crossplay now becoming obviously more prevalent. It's like, there just seems to be less and less difference between the consoles now. That I don't know.
In terms of hardware, definitely.
Yeah.
But
like with crossplay and stuff, you're not like. I mean, how many times we used to say back in the day, well, I want to get this because my mates are getting the Xbox.
Right, and it might not even be a consideration anymore.
I mean, I feel like, does this lean me towards a PlayStation 5 with it being crossplay? I don't know.
I think you've got to go off. I don't know. I mean,
we'll have to
I can't
wait
really
to
say
see,
what you have to go because everyone's got their own preferences of what they prefer and stuff like that. Personally, for me, I go off what's the most important to me. And that's the games, because the online services they're pretty much identical at this point, aren't they? There's not too much difference.
I must admit, I've not played the online services on PlayStation 5.
You log in on a game on COD on PlayStation, or you log in on a game on there's not much difference at all. There's no difference really. It's
the same game, different console.
Game.
I think the differences come in the like if you're going into the actual console specifics. Like for example, Xbox's party chat versus PlayStation's party chat, and which works more consistently.
Xbox used to be the better one, didn't it?
Still is
like now.
Yeah, it still is.
The gap's definitely shrunk. I mean, it used to be like. I mean, I remember the PS3 360 days. I mean, it was
night and day, wasn't it? Yeah.
But to be honest, now I don't. I mean, I think obviously you had a PlayStation early on. You'll remember the party chat was a little bit suspect, wasn't it, at the start?
No, it wasn't suspect. It was
bad. It wasn't great, but
it's really bad.
It's 9 day difference now, 5 years on.
Yeah, it has improved. Like people, I think generally, like with things like that, there's a few things like PlayStation's interface has always been renowned as being
slicker,
way better than the
it's so
Xbox
much nicer.
There's a lot
cleaner, tidier, easier to navigate. All that
you
stuff.
could argue Xbox has got worse. Actually, I think over the last. I think.
Oh, sorry, worse. You mean like 360 and stuff?
Oh, I mean actually, that's what I actually think.
Xbox One. You think the
I think
first
the one
one
now
they
is
released
worse than from a couple of times
that
ago.
first one was bad.
Not the first one. No. Sorry, not the first one. But I don't think the one we've got now is the best one there's been on the Xbox One.
Do you know
Does that
what?
make sense?
Yeah, no.
I think there's been ones like a couple of years ago that were.
Is this an unpopular opinion then? I actually don't mind the Xbox One now.
I don't mind
the console. It's fine. I just
the interface. I don't actually mind it. I think I can navigate it pretty comfortably. I find it alright.
I used to have this argument with Matty all the time. Like, once you've actually used it, you're familiar. Like it doesn't actually take as long as the memes.
It's like with most things, I guess. Yeah. Once you're familiar.
I think a lot of people's complaints with the Xbox interface, and I know we're going slightly off on a tangent here, is that it changes quite often, whereas the PlayStation 1 is like consistent. Here's an update, and then it's consistent through. Xbox's is like here's an update, here's an update, here's an update, and they actually change a lot of little things.
Where's this?
But like to me, who uses it every day, it doesn't feel too different. But if you're not so hardcore, if you like in terms of the hours, it's maybe a bit rough.
Do you think controllers will play a big part?
I don't know. I mean, I think people by now
because I remember, do you remember Matty though? He used to say like he couldn't sit there and play a PlayStation game for like 4 hours because it hurt his hand. But
I mean, maybe it did, but it doesn't bother me personally.
No,
I actually, the more time that goes on, the more I don't even notice difference in control. I can pick up any Xbox or PlayStation, and it literally makes no difference to me. I think that's because I've played both for so long now.
Yeah,
I'm just so muscle memory with both of them that because you're talking about the change from PlayStation to that, aren't you? That's literally the difference.
Well, yeah, the asymmetric sticks on the Xbox.
Basically just one thumb difference.
Yeah.
So I'm used to it by now.
Yeah.
So I think, the Xbox controller is still better. For me, it's still the best controller.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think it probably will be even next generation. Because they're not.
They seem
I don't
to nail
actually
it,
think
they've got the.
From what I've read on there and from what I've read in other places, that it's going to be very similar. The DualShock. They're still going to have the touchpad and stuff like that.
I hated the touchpad.
Yeah, you weren't a fan of that.
I hate the touchpad. I always press the touchpad when I try to press start. Because you go from the Xbox controller, you try and press start or back. It's in the middle. Well, so on the PlayStation, through instinct, when you press the middle and you hit the touch, it's
in a lot of games now the touchpad is the pause button on PlayStation. Like on Borderlands,
that's a really good change.
On Borderlands, you hit the touchpad button and it brings up the map and stuff like that.
Does the same with Spider-Man.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So they've maybe improved that aspect, but yeah, from what I can tell, they're talking about like haptic feedback. Actually, Xbox One actually had that for their early Forza games.
Did they?
Yeah. But they hardly used it. They used it for like 2 or 3 exclusives and they never used it again. I'm wondering whether this is another situation.
It seemed like a fad, like something that people don't actually care too much about.
Is this just something to say, and the first few exclusives will have it and then it'll never be seen again? Yeah. So I think the controls will both be fine. I think they'll both probably have slight improvements, maybe. But I mean, can you really see the Xbox One controller being much different? I can't. I think it'll be very similar.
No, I don't really need to make many adjustments, do they?
They'll probably make slight adjustments.
Yeah, so it looks different.
Yeah, you will literally have like angle refinements on like the grips, and maybe the triggers will have a 5 millimeter slant difference or something. That's a random measurement, but
obviously backwards compatibility is going to be on both now.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much.
God, you remember back in like the 360 days? I remember I had to go round to Chubbles' house.
Yeah.
Random shout
random friend, and I had to get a blank disc, put it into his PC, and he literally downloaded something onto the disc. I then had to put it into the 360 that would let me play a select few backwards original Xbox games. It's like, why did I have to go to that extent?
Illegal days.
Yeah,
it's so much better now, isn't it?
So much better.
It's going to be so much better. Just being able to, you turn your PS5 on, put Spider-Man and it runs. I mean, how much better is that than?
Really though, that should always be the case, shouldn't it? It should have always been the case. I don't know why it took so long to finally
on
get
Xbox, you're going to be able to actually put Gears 5 and it'll work or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just so much better, isn't it, than how it used to be.
Again, like we'll see when it comes around. Like I know it's supposed to be like instantaneous with stuff like that, but until I actually see it,
you don't know. Yeah,
I'm wondering.
Skeptical. Yeah.
I know there'll obviously be a lot of change going from the hard disk drive to the solid state. So
yeah, then that's something actually we probably should mention, the solid state, because that's going to be a massive change.
Yeah.
We've never had solid state drives in consoles before, obviously, because they weren't around like 10 years ago or whatever. But that's going to be a big difference, because that's going to reduce load times. It should reduce load times massively. My concern is with them though, they are more in laptops. I think you mentioned they are more unreliable. So is there going to be like hardware problems using these? Are you going to see more burnt out consoles? Are you going to see more failures?
More crashes?
I'd hope not. I'd hope they've done a lot of research into it and get the what they need to ensure that it's smooth. But
they've got enough money to get the best.
I always get a bit worried when they change things, because that's a big change going from a normal hard drive to an SSD.
Well, yeah, because it's the first. Look, I'm sure they will have developed like in-house machines that have never been released just to try and get a feel for it and figure out what works and what doesn't. But it is going to be a big change. The startup times to consoles should be pretty quick. You press the button and within seconds you're on, rather than watching the logo and then there's a few seconds and then the dashboard loads. It should be really quick.
Well, another interesting thing about this it's going to be the same on. When we say the interesting thing about the PS5, we should assume that Xbox is going to have similar things to what I'm saying, because they're both going to be so similar.
Well, we've seen with you said with the IGN comparison,
they're
both
going to have
minimalistic.
So with the PS5 thing, one thing they did mention, they didn't mention it in that article, but they have mentioned it, is that if you put, say, I'll use Spider-Man as an example, Spider-Man in a PS5, then not only will it load faster, but it will the PlayStation will be able to recognise it and automatically put it in a better resolution than PS4 would.
Really?
Yeah. That's what they've said. Like, so most if not every game, you should be able to do that. So you put it'll be the same with the Xbox One as well. You put like Gears 5, and it should be able to automatically recognise it, put it in a higher resolution, because of the console specs.
Providing you got the right TVs and stuff.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously, I'm not saying people don't, but
I think it's
the amount of people that fall for that stuff, though. It's like I know this is a proper tangent, but it's like the advert you see in the UK for Sky Q. It's like 4 times better than HD, and people pay for that, and they have like a 32-inch 10-year-old Samsung. Samsung's like
you will get no difference.
Yeah, you're not going to get.
I mean, I'm sure they will run on 1080p TVs, but they just.
Oh no, of course they will. But you won't get the benefits. You're not going
to.
That they talk
I
about.
wouldn't bother even buying a new console if you're not
TV.
You know, you have to have a 4K TV now, I think, if you want to be with these new consoles. So,
well, I think there's no point having one if you're in it for the graphical like upgrades and resolutions. If you don't have a 4K TV, like don't bother.
So. And the adoption rate of 4K TVs is it's getting right up there now, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean,
well, you can get cheaper ones now, can't you?
You definitely can.
And they're talking about 8K now, so it's like that's why they've kind of future-proofed it, haven't they?
Yeah.
They've both said,
8K
because in 5-6 years that'll be what everyone's wanting. So.
True.
Makes sense. So, I just one final point I was going to say. I think the main factor is going to be the software again, though, because I agree services will play a big part as well. But people want like the blockbuster games. That's what people are going to want. And
look, there's still going to be exclusives. Like we can talk about crossplay probably being in most things going forward, but we'll see again when the time comes.
With all these subscription services, I mean, we've seen recently PS Now has kind of revamped itself. It's half the price. They've added. I mean, there's like 700 odd games on there now. Game Pass obviously is
I started to see a lot more adverts as well for PS Now.
And Game Pass, as we know, they're pushing it massively.
Yeah.
Xbox.
To be honest, though, like you said, exclusives.
They're going to
play
matter
a really
They're
big
gonna
part
matter
because
even more.
if they're literally now, you
I
can
think so.
cross-play and that becomes, like I said, more prevalent, and you've got more opportunity to do that. I'm probably going to look more to the exclusives.
And I'd say this isn't a definitive thing because so many things can happen. I mean, the reveal of consoles, as we know, with Xbox One, everyone thought Xbox had it in the bad for that generation, then it completely failed. So I'm not going to say this is
awful.
I'm not going to say this is a definite, but as it's looking now, PlayStation clearly have the advantage because they have the mind share. They've got the games, they've got the exclusives, they've got the household sort of developers, Naughty Dog, Insomniac, and stuff like that. I know Xbox has got like Coalition and stuff, but people are, as we know, are getting a bit tired of those franchises. So it's going to be interesting to see if they can.
Well, it's going to be really time to see if these masses of studios that Xbox has accumulated in the last 2 years, if they actually come to fruition in terms of hard hitters.
It's time to put up or shut.
If they don't, exactly right. Like the guys you've mentioned already, they hit it out of the park every single time. And exclusives,
Xbox need a few of them, don't they?
Yeah, they really do.
One thing I would say is, whichever console you're on, I'm not going to say it doesn't matter because some people prefer PlayStation, but it really kind of doesn't matter anyway because you're going to get great games on both. There's going to be great third-party games. There's going to be great exclusives probably on both. You'd expect Xbox to step it up with exclusives to next gen. So I think it's just going to be a great time.
Not as confident with Xbox.
No, I'm not either.
I'm not because we've how many times have we heard the games are coming? The games are coming. We've got these developers. Well,
it's starting to get. I mean, Gears 5 was a good step in the right direction. It was a better exclusive than they had for a while.
Yeah, I like Gears 5.
They need to do something outside the box, not like a Forza 15 or Gears 6 or blah blah blah.
Something new.
Everyone knows Halo Infinite's coming. Yeah, a new IP that actually does something, not something garbage like Sea of Thieves that falls flat before it's even There's no point. Games like that, they don't do anything. Like State of Decay was like.
We played that a little bit. You like that more than most.
But these games are not massive hitters.
Yeah.
You look at the PlayStation's competitors and the hitters, and Xbox's exclusives are here, and PlayStation's are
different league.
But it's
such difference.
Well, it'll be interesting as well because we never know as well. Maybe in 5 or 6 years' time on the next gen, you could see Xbox Game Pass on PlayStation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Who knows?